Hello, friends, family, YouTubers, people across the world. It is I, Kianna Bird. I am going to be your host today, and I am going to be presenting the advice today for May 27th, 2014. This is our third episode, and we also have Dave here who is also going to be presenting his new
Oh no.
guest today, or Nadia today, because she is away at a business meeting or business conference of some sort. So, I just want to welcome everybody watching, but we have no viewers right now, so whatever. But please tune in, guys. We posted on our Facebook, so just tune in to us. And I'll just have Dave begin with the current events, and just letting you know our show's going to be a little shorter since we don't have a third person. So tune in, guys.
All right, awesome. So, my name is, as she already said, my name is David, aka Asian Dave, aka Fanatical for Jesus, and I'm coming from Colorado Springs, Colorado. Okay, so current event. So in worldwide news, we have Nigerians hold second day of protest over mass abductions. This was last week in Dakar, Senegal. If I mispronounced that, which I probably did, I apologize. Hundreds of protesters marched the streets of the Nigerian capital on Wednesday, demanding that their government do more to find scores of schoolgirls who were abducted by armed militants more than 3 weeks ago. About 275 schoolgirls were kidnapped on April 15th by the Islamist terrorist group Boko Haram. I know I probably butchered that too. As of right now, no one has claimed responsibility, and military efforts to find the girls have been unsuccessful. The Nigerian army did initially announce that they had rescued the girls, but later issued a retraction, though. 40 girls did escape on their own. This is the first time the group did anything to the girls, despite a history of terrorizing that school before. So, I'll admit, I just recently heard about this story. I mean, so I'm not too familiar with it. I've heard it briefly on the news, when this first happened, but I didn't really pay too much attention to it. I guess it's a tragic thing. I hope that they do find the girls, and apparently 40 of them did escape. So I mean, if I was on that rescue team that was searching for them, I'd probably try and question them, try and get ideas from them. Like, okay, because they pretty much know because they've been in there, so they pretty much know what's going on, and that'd probably be their ticket to actually get to infiltrate where they're at to get those girls. But also at the same time, I do find it kind of odd how their military hasn't found these girls yet. Because I mean, how can how can a band of renegade like rebels pretty much, or a terrorist group, how can they pretty much hide 40 girls, or how many, 275? How can they hide that many girls from an entire military? That tells me that they're probably not trying hard enough.
I was gonna say maybe there's just an issue with the development of their military in general, but it's kind of pathetic to me the fact that it's kind of like this what do you call it, the rebels. It
Yeah,
seems like the rebels, they have more power and
and
control
the
than the
military.
military
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's kind of,
people, like you were saying, like.
yeah. It seems kind of suspicious to me, to be honest. It seems really suspicious. Because honestly,
Yeah.
it seems like their military doesn't really care. Because if they really cared, I guarantee you, if one of their daughters got kidnapped, oh man, they probably would have found these people right away, and yeah, this would have been squashed quickly.
Can you say that again? I think you like kind of froze.
I said, I bet you if it was one of their daughters that got kidnapped, they'd probably be on this right away, and this probably would have got squashed pretty quickly. They wouldn't be dragging their feet. But
Right. And I mean, I don't necessarily believe we should care anymore when it's like 40 people versus two people like being missing. Like these people need to be found, and um these men, they need to be in prison. They need to be locked up. Like I don't know for how long. I don't know what their laws are there, but
Yeah. And
um
what really gets me is, like, I guess this terrorist group has a history of terrorizing the school, although they didn't actually, this is the first time they actually kidnapped the girls or did anything to them. But they have a history of terrorizing the
I
school.
think you
So, hello?
okay. Okay, I see your video now.
Okay. No, I'm saying, like, like, this group has a history of terrorizing the school, so why wasn't this squashed before? I mean, yeah, they didn't do anything to the girls like before. This is the first time, but the fact that they were terrorizing the school before, like, why didn't the government step in and stop them? It just kind of like let it. They let it escalate.
They what?
They allowed it to escalate to this point. Because I feel like if they would have stepped in and stopped it right when they were terrorizing the school the first time, it would have never got to this point to begin with.
Sorry, you're kind of going in and out. It keeps freezing.
I said that if they would have stepped in and stopped them from terrorizing the school to begin with, it would have never escalated to this point to begin with. So, like, I hold their government responsible for these girls getting kidnapped. Hello? 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 Oh crap. I think we lost Kianna. This sucks. Crap. Hold on one second. I'm just gonna text her real quick. Well, this is awkward. I'm gonna try calling her real quick. Hey, what happened? Are you serious? Oh, it's coming back? That is really strange, because I'm still on here. Really? That is, that'll probably make it worse. The internet's not, your internet's not coming back on? Oh, wow. I'm just gonna hang up this. Do we have to open up a new one?
I'm back on it. And it's called Live Talk Tuesdays. It's back on. So, oh, we're live. Okay.
Oh, alright, I'm sorry.
Oh my goodness. Viewers, we apologize for the technical difficulties. My internet totally just cut off right now, and I don't know what's the issue, but um at this time I do have internet, so we're gonna continue on with the show. I extremely apologize.
The show will go on.
Can you
Alright,
say that again?
I said the show will go on.
Yes.
What I was trying to say earlier, I don't even remember. I'm just gonna go on to the next story.
Okay.
Forgot what I was trying to say earlier. The next story, an undying love news. Um, a South Carolina man who's age 78, he wore a sandwich board to help his wife, who of 57 years, in search of life-saving kidney. She was born with one kidney, and just this summer, it started failing. Her husband wasn't a match. The exposure got them some media attention. Found a match.
So they found a match, okay.
Yeah, I just think that's awesome. Yeah.
This is for the woman. I'm sorry.
Yeah, he did. He did this for his wife.
Okay, his wife, and he could not donate his kitty, his
Yeah,
kidney.
because he wasn't a match.
Okay.
So he, yeah,
Oh, it's freezing up again.
so he walked around like he walked up and down the highways and everything, wearing a sandwich board saying "in need of a kidney for what for my wife," and that got a media attention, and like someone stepped up and said, "Hey, I'm willing to donate my kidney to your wife." Did you hear me?
Yeah, it keeps going in and out. I don't know what the deal is.
What's going in and out?
The internet. I mean, I closed all my windows and everything. Okay, but you're clear now. You're good.
Okay. Yeah, but I just think that story is awesome. Like
And he how what did he do to get find a match for the woman's kidney? That's the part that I didn't hear.
he just walked up and down the highways and all over town. It's like all over South Carolina, pretty much, wearing a sandwich board saying, "I need a kidney for my wife."
This is really pissing me off. Okay.
Did you hear?
Hello.
Did you catch
I
that?
totally get the gist of what you were saying, even though I'm having a hard time hearing. I don't know what's up with the internet, but that is so touching. That's such a touching story.
It is. Like I thought it was awesome too. I was like, oh, it's. I'm a big sap when it comes to stuff like that. So I was like, oh, that's so sweet.
Yeah, that's the power of love displayed in that article, in that story.
I have mad respect for that guy and his wife too. Yeah.
Totally, yeah. Like that's really like laying down like your life, like you're just going out here in the streets like with a sign. That's crazy.
And they're both elderly. This man, he's 78 years old. Like, that's awesome.
That's so precious.
Now, in Florida woman crackhead news,
Okay.
this woman, Crystal Hazel, or Hazel, however you say her last name, age 37, checked into a motel in Ocala, Florida, with her boyfriend and 11-month-old child, and they then smoked crack for the entire day. She was 7 months pregnant, but she began going into labor while her boyfriend, Vincent Terry, was out running errands. While she waited for him to return, she decided to give birth in the bathtub, chewing through the umbilical cord with her teeth after she called her BF to ask him to return, but he was pulled over for speeding. And here's another twist to the story. Vincent Terry was wanted for attempted murder in Colorado, so they pretty much fled from Colorado to Florida so he can get away from that. She decided to then she decided to wait for an hour before calling 911 and
Hello?
hello?
She was what?
Yeah, she decided to wait for an hour before calling 911 and instead gave baby breasts to keep the child alive. She's charged with child neglect. And
Keeps breaking up.
what? Are you there?
Okay, I just lowered the bandwidth so that it stops like freezing. I'm really hoping that that does something because you keep freezing.
Oh.
But I
So,
see you now.
alright, so she decided to wait for an hour before calling 911 and instead gave baby breaths to keep the child alive. She's charged right now with child neglect. They are both in jail in Marion County, Florida. The baby is in a hospital in Gainesville, Florida, and the 11th-month-old is now in foster care.
Oh my gosh, so she had another kid. She had an 11-month-old already, and then she gave birth to her baby just alone?
Yep, in the bathtub, and she chewed through the umbilical cord.
Oh my gosh! That's insane. There's a lot going on with that story.
Oh, like I'm like that's why they say don't do crack. Crack kills.
Yeah.
insane.
Oh my gosh, I wonder is the baby okay? That's what I was thinking. Like you're smoking crack and like you're 7 months pregnant and you obviously know that you're pregnant. That's crazy.
Yeah. Well, I mean, from the article I read, the baby is in good con is he's in the hospital right now, so like they're monitoring him, so he's gonna be okay though.
Oh, that's great. 'Cause
Yeah.
it's like I guess your body just automatically is like, okay, toxins are going into your body, like we need to get this baby out of you so it can survive. Basically, that's probably what her body like said.
Yeah. And it's just I don't know, this story is just it was insane and like did you catch the part where I said that her boyfriend was wanted in Colorado for attempted murder?
I was gonna say that like so he attempted murder, they fled to Florida and then this happens. He gets pulled over for a speeding ticket and then
Yeah.
they happen to have a warrant out for his arrest anyway, so
Yeah. And at the same time, while he's talking to the police officer, I guess, she's over here trying to call him saying that she's going into labor.
oh my gosh. I wonder what these people look like.
If you want, I can send like if I can find the article again, I can send it to you, and then you can post the article in the description box. Like the
Definitely, we'll have to do that.
their pictures, they look freaking. I don't even. Yeah.
So both of them are going to jail though, right? Both of them? Or
Yeah,
they're in jail?
they're in jail right now in Marion County, which
Oh,
is
good.
like to be honest, they deserve to be in jail. I like they shouldn't get out for a long time. That's and honestly, I think the boyfriend should get castrated. That's just my opinion.
Oh my goodness, that's crazy. Exactly what did he do? Do you know like what the murder thing was with him?
No, it didn't really touch on the article. Doesn't touch on that. It just said that he was wanted for attempted murder.
Oh,
So
attempted. Okay.
actually murder anyone? He just attempted to murder someone.
Oh my goodness. That is absolutely nuts.
Yeah,
But you think if you would if the police were after you, you'd lay low and you wouldn't be doing a bunch of like crazy things like speeding and
yeah.
illegal things and drugs.
Obviously, these two are like they're pretty stupid.
Yeah,
They
they're
don't like
absolutely idiots.
no excuse for that. And then like she's over here she chews the umbilical cord. Like I can't even.
Oh my gosh, there's so much going on in this story. I forgot about that part.
Yeah, that's the part where like when I was reading the article, I was tripped. I was like, wait, what? She chewed through the umbilical cord. That is disgusting.
That's so nuts. Oh.
But I guess when you're on crack, you're not really paying attention. You don't really know what you're doing. Like I
Yeah,
don't know.
she's probably high while she's giving birth and then just chews it.
Yeah.
That is wow.
Like
Well,
honestly, these two don't deserve to. They don't deserve to have any more kids.
no, she needs to get her tubes tied. She shouldn't be having kids, period. And then I just feel bad for those children. Like they'll have to go through the foster care system and everything. I mean, not that I'm anti foster care system or anything, but
There are a lot of really good foster parents out there. I mean, I know foster parents get a bad rap, but I know that there are a lot of really good foster parents out there who have good intentions. And the whole stereotype where people say, "Oh, people only go in foster care for the money." There's really no money involved. Like, they don't make that much
oh, well, I guess it
money.
must be a lot to some people. I don't know. Because I've known people that have done it for the
They
money.
will
They needed the money, but
really probably like they do it for like extra money because they're not really that like and they probably
yeah,
have like
extra
another job on the side. Yeah,
money. Right.
like it's a sad story, and I hope the kids can get adopted. Like that'll be better than for them to get stuck in the system.
Definitely. They deserve a stable home.
Now,
Well, that's crazy, man.
oldest living American news. Geraldine Talley.
Okay.
She is currently the oldest living American. She's the second oldest. She's the second oldest person in the world. Um, and her name is Geraldine Talley. She was born in Montrose, Georgia, on May 23rd, 1899. Are you there?
Yeah.
Okay. And like she's still in fairly good health, except for shaky hands, poor eyesight, and pain in her knees. She plans to celebrate her birthday with friends and family at New Jerusalem Missionary Baptist Church. And like experts say, only 5 million people living in the U.S. become a supercentenarian. I guess that's someone who lives to be 110 or older. Her only daughter, Thelma Holloway, age 76, lives with her to help take care of her because her husband, Alfred Talley, died in 1988. That's when I was born.
Dave,
What?
I was having issues again, but I can
Oh,
hear you now.
oh. What was the last? Okay, like I pretty much said, she plans to celebrate her birthday with friends and family at New Jerusalem Missionary Baptist Church. She's in really good health except for shaky hands, poor eyesight, and pain in her knees that she's reporting. And experts are saying that only 5 million people living in the U.S. become a supercentenarian, which I guess is someone who lives to be 110 years old or older. And she's being taken care of right now by her daughter, Thelma Holloway, age 76, because her husband, Alfred Talley, died in 1988, the year that I was born.
Cool.
Yeah. So I was born and he died.
Mm. You know, that's really like, oh my gosh, that's crazy. Because um, my friend actually, I think her grandmother, I think her grandmother was a super centurion. I don't think she's alive, or her great grandmother. I forget whether it's great grandmother or great great whatever.
Yeah,
And that's just so remarkable because like I feel like once you reach a certain age, you're automatically gonna make the news. Like,
that's
and
true.
115, like, oh my gosh, I can't imagine living that
Yeah.
long.
I can't either. And she's in good health too, so she obviously takes care of herself.
Yeah, I've heard some super centurions. I heard one. She said something about people ask like, what do you do to like stay healthy and all that stuff. She said, I never drank, I never smoked, and you know, towards the later years of my life, all I would eat was like oatmeal in the morning and just eat really basic stuff.
Much hay and straw and vegetables.
Yeah.
I don't know. I couldn't I don't know. I smoke. Like I'm trying to quit smoking now. Like I made that decision last night. I was like I'm gonna quit smoking. I gave away the rest of my cigarettes to one of my coworkers. I made his night pretty much.
Wow. You're just like gonna quit cold turkey? You know, they say that never really works long term.
Well, I mean, if you replace it with another habit, that's the best way to quit is to replace it with a good habit. So I'm gonna figure out a good habit to replace it with.
Oh, okay. Like what?
I don't know yet.
So you're shooting for 115 years old then?
No, not that old. Like I think that'll be really depressing because everybody you know is everybody that you're close to is dying and or yeah yeah. I don't know if I'd be able to deal with that when you're the only one that's still living.
I feel like that happens anyway though, like if you live to be an older age regardless. And I don't think there's anything wrong with living like longer lives, but part of me, I wouldn't do anything to actually make myself live longer because this world is just so corrupt and so like depressing at times. I think I'd just be getting more depressed with the times changing because I just hear old people talk all the time and they say, you know, oh my gosh, I remember back in the days. Like, I don't want to live my life for the past, like dwelling on the past. So it's almost like you don't have a whole lot to live for when you're older, except for like your family. But
That's true. I know. I know. There are some old people that actually do. They make the most of it. Like I know some old people that's they're fun to be around because they just make the most of life, and then they die, and then it's sad. 'Cause you're like, dang, I miss them.
Yeah, I love old people. I was working at a nursing home, and I miss them already. I don't work at the nursing home anymore, but
Yeah, that's
uh,
one. I can never work in a nursing home because, like, I don't know. I get attached to people too easily.
can you say that again?
I get attached to people too easily, so I can never work in a nursing home or like hospice. It's bad enough I want to go into social work.
Oh, yeah.
Mm,
Well, that's good. That just shows that you have a heart for those things, and like maybe just not in a work environment or a work setting would be good for you, but
yeah. So, and so the next story I have, I titled man on drugs. Man drugs wife and then rapes her. This kind of when I first read this article, I got really pissed off.
Dave,
Yes. Oh no. Are you there?
I'm sorry, can you repeat that again?
Okay, it's called Man Drugs Wife and Rapes Her.
Okay.
Like when I first read this story, I initially got pissed off because okay, he got off really easy. Surprising. This happened in Rhode Island. Husband, are you there?
I'm sorry, I apologize.
Okay, husband drugs up his wife to have sex with her while he films it and posts the act on the internet and writes letters of confession. And the wife didn't know what was going on until one day she decided to go through his phone and found the videos. The husband was found guilty on 6 charges and he's only placed on house detention for 8 years.
House detention? Don't they live in the same house together?
I'm pretty sure if they're husband and wife.
I know. Some married people they live separate though. I mean, I don't know. I was just thinking in the
Yeah.
broad, but
Well, some people do, and I'm pretty sure like the wife probably doesn't want to be with him anymore.
yeah. So she basically like called the cops on him, and he was given the house arrest or house
Yeah,
detention.
pretty much. For 8 years. So he pretty much has 8 years to play Xbox or
Oh
PlayStation.
yeah, pretty much there.
That's not really much of a consequence. I think this guy should honestly I wouldn't advocate I don't think he should get the death penalty. The only thing I would advocate the death penalty for is an actual murder. Like this, I would say that he should get locked away in prison for the rest of his life. Like and he should get like the harshest prison sentence you could think of. Like lock him in solitary confinement and he gets nothing. Like he doesn't get a TV, he doesn't get a radio, he doesn't get nothing. He just gets a hard freaking bed. He gets fed. What?
Let me just clarify what this story is. Okay, woman is raped by her husband.
Yeah.
Husband videotapes it
Yeah.
on his or not videotapes. That sounds so old school. Okay, records it on his phone.
Yeah.
And okay, so he records on his phone. Then the wife finds it, or was there another thing to this story that was really unethical?
His phone and then post the acts on the internet.
Oh, he posted it. Oh gosh.
He even writes
That's terrible.
even writes several letters of confession saying, "Yes, I did this,"
Several letters of confession doing what?
saying that he did that.
He's an absolute idiot.
I know,
He's
right?
crazy. Yeah. Like, why
Exactly.
would you marry such an idiot? Oh my goodness. Like, did you not see this before? Because usually, like, with stupid people, crazy people like that, like, you kind of can see the signs earlier on. Not blaming the woman by any means, for anything, but
Unless he changed, unless maybe something happened and he like just snapped one day. He's just like, I'm gonna start. Or maybe his wife was holding out on him and got fed up. No, I don't
oh
know.
gosh. But that's no reason to drug her, is it? You're not.
There's no justification.
Yeah.
I think the guy should get the harshest punishment. Lock him up in solitary confinement. Only feed him enough to keep him alive. Don't feed him more than that. Just feed him enough to keep him alive, like once a day, and like pretty much don't give him anything in his cell. Like he just has a bed. That's it. Not even a bed. Give him like a gym mat. Like here's a gym mat. That's what you're gonna sleep on. And a
Wow.
toilet. What? And I said,
Wow, you're pretty harsh with the criminals, are you? Don't you think?
well, just in this case, I think he should get the harshest punishment there is, because that's pretty jacked up. Like, he's let off easy. He pretty much house detention for 8 years. Okay, like honestly, to a man, you tell him, "Oh, that's house detention for 8 years." Oh, okay, that means I get to go play PlayStation for 8 years.
Yeah.
Like,
That's completely humiliating to be exposed like that on the internet. And your husband, of all people, it's not like it's just like a boyfriend or something. Like it's your husband. Your
yeah,
husband is exposing you. It's the person that you said you're going to be with for the rest of your life. Like you said your vows and all that stuff. Like that's just crazy to me that,
yeah.
oh my God.
I can't
I,
imagine how she's feeling.
yeah.
Feels
I would totally feel like he needs to be humiliated in that same way, though.
I think that the fact that this story is out there and like pretty much the whole nation. I mean, this story's on the internet, so it's like worldwide. So I think that's humiliation for him right there. Because people are gonna
Oh,
be reading the story and they're gonna be like, "Oh wow, that guy's a douchebag." Like he's gonna have to live with what he did for the rest of his life. And I still think he should live with that for the rest of his life, and
can you say that again?
he's got to live with it for the rest of his life. And I think he should, but I also think he should still get the harshest punishment in prison.
Ugh.
Give him like give him 110 years in solitary confinement.
Well, that's not what they did, and I guess justice was not served in that instance. I do think he does deserve a harder punishment, but
The judge's justification though for giving him just house detention is because she says she wants to give him a chance to rehabilitate.
she wants to give him a chance.
To rehabilitate himself because
For what?
she feels like if she was to just lock him up in prison, then he's not really gonna learn anything. Which I could kind of understand that side because there are a lot of prisoners who just get locked away in prison and they don't really learn their lesson because they get right back out and they just commit the same crimes to get thrown right back in prison. So
Yeah.
there is a need for rehabilitation, but in this case, no, hell no. Throw the book at him. Like, no, don't show him any mercy.
Well, I really wouldn't expect them to throw anybody in for life with this type of crime, but I could see doing like heavy time for that. That is just completely ridiculous, though. And where was this located? Was this in America or
I was in Rhode Island.
Rhode Island?
Yeah,
That is psycho.
right. Now here's something more lighthearted. Okay, teen is suspended for asking Miss America out to prom. Like, I actually thought this story was kind of humorous. Like, apparently, for everyone who doesn't know who Miss America, she's the Indian woman that sparked all kinds of controversy. Everybody, like, when she won Miss America, like, everybody was tweeting all those racist tweets and everything about her, saying, like, ignorant things like, congratulations, Al Qaeda. Uh, our Miss America is one of you, which is completely absurd because India and
Idiots.
yeah, but yeah.
That
So
just
apparently,
goes to show you the intelligence of people that like insult based on like race and stuff.
yeah, I actually did a video one time talking about racism and ignorance, like racism and intelligence doesn't go together, like because every racist person I ever heard about has been extremely ignorant. Like the UCLA girl that did the rant about Asians in her library, she was stupid.
Oh gosh.
Yeah, so
Sorry,
apparently,
I don't think I'll let you finish.
Miss America is back in the news. Like she was giving a speech at a high school, and I'm sorry I didn't get the where the high school was at or the name of the high school. And
hmm
Q&A session, this kid got up and handed her a plastic flower and asked her out to the prom. That's sweet. Everybody was like, oh, like she took the flower, smiled, and said maybe later. And the
It
kid,
said what?
she said maybe later.
Oh, maybe. Okay.
Yeah. The kid was suspended because he deliberately disobeyed the school administrators who told him not to ask her that. So, on the one hand, I understand.
So he basically like asked the administrators could he do it, and then they said no, but he ended up doing it anyway.
I don't know if he asked the administrators. He probably was just telling people, like, you know how high school guys are. They're like, "Oh, I'm gonna ask Miss America out." And probably the school administrators heard about it, and they were like, "Hey, you better not." And he was like, "Oh, I'm still gonna do it."
Oh my gosh.
Like,
I think he did deserve to be suspended, but if there was like some type of legal action against him, I don't think that would have made any sense. But
I don't know.
I guess he did kind of disturb her like her speech and stuff.
No,
He's a
it was during the Q&A session, so her speech was over.
oh.
Like,
Oh.
so I don't think he should have got suspended. I think that was a little bit overkill. I mean, the kid was just he was just having fun. Like, she obviously wasn't offended. If she was offended by it, she probably would have said something. But she smiled, took the flower, and said maybe later. Like, so the only people who are really mad about the whole situation is the school administrators because he went against what they told him.
I guess that was a little. You're right. That is overkill. I see. I can see what you're saying there. It is overkill because it's
Yeah,
like he didn't. It wasn't like he was like harming anyone or nobody was like embarrassed. Obviously, she. I mean, she probably gets people like guys approaching her with ridiculous questions all the time or saying ridiculous things to her all the time. This time it just happened to be during her Q&A session after a speech. So whatever.
she probably thought it was cute. She probably thought it was adorable, like a little high school kid. Like, at least he had the courage to actually approach her. Like most guys don't have the courage to do that. Like,
Yeah, I'm sure the administration didn't like it, but I'm sure he was applauded by a lot of his friends and people. But actually, the fact that she said maybe later, that's kind of like an embarrassment to him, though, because he kind of got like denied.
or maybe she just didn't want to answer him right then and there. Maybe she wanted to think about it.
No. Like, if you're gonna be, like, publicly asking somebody out, like, actually, she shouldn't have been so vague, though. But I really think that was honestly her way of saying, like, I probably won't be able to do it, but I don't want to look or come off as, like, I don't know, thinking I'm better than a high school kid or whatever, or I'm too good for some random prom, so.
Yeah, he did kind of
Or
put.
she could have said, like, speak with my publicist after.
Could have said that, and then
Yeah.
that would have been even worse.
Yeah, it definitely would have. I was actually joking.
The fact that she took the flower, I mean, she probably just thought of it as a nice gesture. And the kid, to be honest, the kid probably wasn't really serious about wanting to take her to the prom. He was probably just joking around and just saying, "Hey, I'm going to do this." Maybe
Yeah.
he was serious. Maybe he thought she was attractive. Well, she is attractive. Maybe he just wanted to see if she would
Hello.
say yes. Like maybe he found her attractive and she wanted to see what she
Hello.
would. Hello?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was saying maybe he found her attractive and he just wanted to see what she would say.
Yeah. Well, I'm pretty sure he did find her attractive. It wasn't a maybe.
I seen her picture. She is a pretty attractive woman. Like I'm not even. I don't know if I'd want to like go out of my way to approach her like that, but it's
Yeah.
because she's probably like really. She probably has a tight schedule. She's probably doing all these like different things, and yeah, I don't know what Miss America, what 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 all entails being Miss America, but
Right.
she's pretty busy. I'm pretty sure she's busy.
Yeah. That was pretty bold of him, though. I think we should salute this guy just for the fact that he did that in
I
front of the school.
definitely applaud him. Like, and the school administrators could just, yeah. Anyways,
Yeah, we know where you're going with that one.
the final story in fucked up parenting news. Father strangles 3-month-old so he can continue playing Xbox. Yeah.
The
He
kid died?
Yeah, he says he didn't intend to murder his son. He just wanted to make the baby pass out because the baby, I guess, he was playing Xbox and the baby was crying and disturbing his video game. So he wanted to make the baby pass out. He played the Xbox for 5 hours before checking on his son. So he eventually, after he got done, he went to go check on his son, and his son was dead.
Was
He
this in Florida?
uh, I'm not sure. I didn't get the
Oh.
where was it was here in the States though, obviously.
Yeah, only dumb stuff like that happens here.
Pretty much. It seems like it anyways. He is
Yeah.
currently being charged and convicted of willful neglect of the child.
Willful neglect?
Yeah.
Where's the murder charge?
That's what I was wondering, but I guess they're looking at it because he because like he played the Xbox for 5 hours before checking on his son. Like he just made his son pass out. I was like, no, he should be charged as murder.
So now they're saying, oh, maybe it wasn't that he murdered him. It was just the effects of him choking the baby. And then the baby just died soon after.
That's
So they're trying to like make it seem kind of indirect.
Yeah, well, that's because that's what he's telling them. He's saying he didn't intend to murder. He just wanted to make his baby pass out. Like,
Oh my God.
maybe this guy is really, really stupid, or he is a really good liar.
Yeah, I honestly feel like they're idiots for them taking that. To me, that's BS. But I think some people, they're just crazy enough to where they believe their own, like, little embellishment or lie. And I think he's just probably crazy and has an obsession with his Xbox games.
That's true. Like, he's obsessed with Xbox so much. What I was wondering is, where's the mother in this whole scenario? Like, are they like? Because it didn't really say like the article doesn't say anything about a mom. So I'm thinking like maybe they were separated, maybe they had some kind of joint custody, and the son was with him for a little while. Which, if I was the mom, I'd be pretty pissed.
I
Because
already had it set up in my mind. The mom was away at work. They're together. The mom's hardworking, and then the husband or the boyfriend or whatever, he's a deadbeat, and all he does is play video games all the time and watch the kids. I've seen like stuff like I've seen a lot of reality shows, and I just see that set up a lot, like where the female's very hardworking, always away working and stuff, and then like the guy's a deadbeat. And obviously he is if he's playing
like that,
Xbox for, I'm sorry, but Xbox for like 5 hours and you're a grown man. Like,
right?
was it just your off day or what?
I don't know. Like, I think you're right. Maybe he is like a deadbeat, and like if he, I mean, I can't even on my days off. I can't even play. Like, I have a Nintendo 64, and I like playing it. I can't play video games for no 5 hours, even on my days off. Like, I get bored after a while.
Yeah.
Like I could probably play it tops like well probably like an hour, maybe like 30 minutes to an hour, and then I have to put it down. And like
Dave. Oh,
yes,
okay.
oh
Wait,
yeah,
Dave.
that's just insane. I'm like that. Like, how can I don't know. And you were saying that you know guys like that would just their girlfriend will go out and work and everything, and they just stay home. Like that's a pathetic excuse of a man, in my opinion.
It really is, and the fact that they're actually considering like what this guy is saying, like that's crazy to me. And it's just so sad that like the neglect of a child is, I mean, I'm sorry that the first of all, obviously it's neglect, but like there's a bigger issue at hand. Like the
Yeah,
child is dead. You murdered your own child. Like,
that's
and
awesome.
he
I
needs
think
to justice better be served in this case. Like,
the
when did
reason why
it happen?
The reason why I said either this guy is either really stupid or he's a really good liar is because how could he not know that choking his baby isn't will not kill his baby? Like he said that he didn't intend to. You choked your
Oh,
baby.
you're freezing up.
Like no, I'm saying how can he not know that choking a baby would not kill the baby? I mean, he said that he didn't intend to do it. I was like, he didn't intend to murder his baby. He just wanted to make his baby pass out. You dumbass. You choked your baby. I mean, a baby cannot withstand like that kind of pressure.
No. And it's 3 months old?
Yeah.
It's a newborn.
Oh,
What an idiot.
yeah. I mean, I hope this guy gets. I hope again, like the last guy. I hope this guy gets the harshest punishment. I hope they don't let him. But then again, if this is in Rhode Island, you never know. They might give him like 8 years on house detention too.
Right, something stupid. Like,
He
oh
could
my gosh.
so then he could play more Xbox.
Oh, okay, yeah. And let's hope like he doesn't end up having a kid. Because when you're in house arrest, can anybody come in your house? Like, I don't even know the whole thing with house arrest.
It depends on how strict of house arrest you're on. If you're on like,
Mm.
if you're on really, if it's like really strict, like, I think here in Colorado, the strictest form of house arrest is, the only people you can have over at your house is the people that you specifically have approved by your parole officer.
Um,
They're the only ones who can come over. And sometimes, no, you can't have anyone over. But nowadays, you don't need that because there's Xbox Live. So even if he gets that, like, I hope he doesn't get that at all. Like, I hope he gets thrown in prison. He doesn't. Actually, I hope he gets the death penalty because that is murder. He just murdered. So I hope he does get the death penalty. But if he gets like house arrest, that's gonna be just pathetic. Like, because even if like he gets put on house arrest and he can't have anyone over, this Xbox Live, he can still communicate to people.
but then see with house arrest, that house arrest makes no sense to me because why are you putting somebody in their home and especially with all this technology nowadays, but it still just doesn't make any sense to me because there's so many regulations that you'd have to put that person under and do you get specific with what they can and can't do in their home? Like, it just doesn't make any sense to me. But it's like at the same time they're at home, so they're in the comfort of their own home. I don't. That just doesn't make any sense to me at all.
About what level of house arrest they're on. Like I know people like in all different levels of house arrest, and like one of the people I know, he's on his house arrest was so like he recently got off of it. It's not as strict anymore, but it was at the point where it was so strict to where um he couldn't have internet access at all. Like he had a housemate. He has a housemate, and he couldn't even like he couldn't even like he can't even like use his housemate's laptop. That's how bad it is. He couldn't. His housemate couldn't let him use his laptop. Um, he had a curfew at like I think 6 o'clock. Yeah, it was a 6 o'clock curfew. Or yeah, no, I think it was like 9 o'clock, something like that. It was like 9 o'clock curfew. Um, he had a ankle bracelet. Like it was insane. Like he wasn't allowed. Like for the longest time, he wasn't allowed to have a cell phone. Um, he couldn't apply at certain jobs. He had to get his parole officer to apply. Hello?
So he can apply to jobs? Like, I don't, wow. I just didn't think about all that. Like, there's so many different variables. It just seems like it would be more work for
For
like
the
the
parole
courts
officer?
to set up the regulations and stuff.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like stuff like a case like this, I hope the guy gets the death penalty. Like he doesn't.
Yeah, straight up. Mm.
He killed a baby. Like no. If he gets anything less than a death penalty, I'm gonna be really highly upset.
Me personally, I don't believe in the death penalty. I don't think it makes sense to murder someone just because someone else was murdered. Like an eye for an eye. It just doesn't, that doesn't seem like justice to me. But I mean, if the family really wanted it, then I guess I could see that it would make sense. But I personally just don't believe in let's kill the person. Like, let's kill the person because they killed that person. I
Yeah.
mean, I can never speak in the instance if it happened to me or if it happened to somebody I knew, but I
Yeah.
just know it just doesn't always seem like the answer. But it's all about, like, what are we looking for? Are we looking for the criminal to learn from what they've done? Or are we looking for them to become a better person out of this?
I
Like,
think
what is the end goal? What is the goal of the prison system and things like that?
I think it's more about justice being served. That's how I look at it. Justice.
But then what is justice? Justice means so many different things to so many different people. So I mean, I know that's why we have, like, the court system and all that to decide and determine what justice is with
Normally,
each specific case, but
in most cases, I wouldn't advocate for the death penalty, but when it comes to like a cut and dry case like this, like you know for a fact this person murdered, like there's no way he can. There's absolutely no way he could be innocent. Then, like in that case, I would actually say, give him the death penalty. But if there is like any doubt at all that he actually murdered, like, and there's like, then I wouldn't say give him the death penalty because there's a chance that he could be innocent.
yeah.
If that's the
Well,
case, like the person standing over, like you walk in a room and you see the person standing over the other person with a knife, and there's blood everywhere. Like that's a cut and dry case, and there's like cameras and DNA. Like that's a cut and dry case. Like there's no way he can get out of that. Well, OJ did. That's a whole
um,
other story entirely.
yeah, that's a whole other thing.
Yeah. Well, he actually didn't get away with it the second time.
Hmm?
He didn't get away with it the second time.
Get away with what?
Murder?
OJ? Oh, I honestly, I really don't follow OJ, honestly. I didn't know that. I guess I'm really out of the loop with news.
Well, he didn't actually murder. This is like a few years ago. I guess he like another current event. I guess. Like I guess he
Yeah,
like
that's a whole other story, but
he broke into a warehouse, and then his justification was there was a bunch of guns that belonged to him. They were his property, and he was just getting them back. I guess apparently, like he broke into private property and took these guns. Like he said that they were his, which I think they actually did prove that they were his. But the fact that he broke into private property, like,
mhm. What does that have to do with murder, though?
oh, I was just saying he didn't get away with a crime the second time. He got they didn't let him off the hook that time.
I was gonna say, like, I really thought I would have heard if he, like, murdered somebody all over again, and that would have been, like, made a big deal, and I would have heard about it, but
Sorry, I misspoke. Like,
it's okay.
yeah, I just thought that was funny. He was like, I was just taking back my property. He's like, "You're taking back your property."
Oh my goodness. That's so crazy.
Broke into someone else's property to take back your property. Okay.
Idiot. Anyway, um, okay. So I guess that concludes our news and current events, and we're now on to Let's Get Real with Kianna, my advice portion. I have two questions from two viewers, and I'll start with. I will start with advice question number one. It's from an anonymous viewer. I'll just read the message. All right, so I got this girlfriend, and I knew her for about 10 months, and we've been together for about 7 months. I really do love her, and she's been with me since before I got locked up, and was with me while I was locked up, and now she's still with me, and he goes on about how she's different than any other girl he's been with, and he's really in love with her. And but the problem is his ex-girlfriend called him, and he finds out from her that she's pregnant. He feels like he's stuck because he doesn't know if he should tell the girlfriend that he has now, if he should tell her now or when the baby arrives or what. He doesn't want to lose his girlfriend, so he's just trying to find like the best approach to the situation. Oh,
Well, I would say because you don't want to like if he really loves this girl that he's with right now, just be honest with her. Cause you don't want to hide anything from her. Cause eventually, I mean, she's gonna find out eventually. So you might as well just be upfront with her and just tell her if she really loves if she really loves this guy, like truly loves him, then it's not gonna ruin the relationship. Like as a matter of fact, she's gonna appreciate the fact that he was honest with her. And
okay. When I look at this whole situation, I was like, wow, this is like a really difficult situation to be put in, and I don't know what I'd do in the situation. Obviously, if I was him, I would obviously realize that I have to tell her, like we were saying, but um, just the fact that he found himself in a situation where he cheated. Cheating is something that's like
wait,
9 times out of 10.
I think I missed that. He cheated. I thought this was like a previous girlfriend that he like.
Maybe I'm assuming that he cheated, but maybe he didn't. But okay, because he said he was with the girl for 7 months. So depending on how long the ex-girlfriend has been pregnant, he
Oh yeah.
cheated. And then okay, I'm raising a lot of questions with this. We first of all, we don't necessarily know if the baby is his. I don't know. It seems like he's not really questioning that though. But first of all, I'd want to make sure if I was him, if I was a man, I can't put myself in a man's shoes, but I'll just say if
But
I
I
was in his situation,
thought
huh?
that was my first thought is she really pregnant? Like I'll be wondering if she's even really pregnant because she could just be saying that to get him to maybe she's missing him and she wants him back, or maybe if she is pregnant, maybe she's pregnant with another dude, or it's another guy's baby and she's just saying it's his baby to get him back. Like because I've heard stories of women doing
Yeah,
stuff
my
like
first
that.
step I'd be like, okay, let's figure out if this is my baby, first off. I would probably, but coming from a woman's perspective, I would want to know before. Honestly, I'd want to know beforehand, especially if it was a situation where you cheated on her. You better tell her during like while the girl is still pregnant before the baby comes along. Like tell her ASAP, like as soon as possible if you did cheat on her. If it's not a situation where you cheated and it was while you were with her that you conceived the child, if you did conceive the child, um then you need to just let her know that this is going to be a process of you trying to figure out whether or not the kid is yours if you haven't done that already. I don't know the whole situation with that.
No.
Um, and like I said, like Dave was saying, I agree. She will stick with you. Um, if she can stick with you through jail, like you being locked up, then I think she's probably willing to stick with you through this situation. And the more you go through in a relationship, the more stronger like your relationship will be.
Definitely.
So,
Yeah, stuff like this can either make or break a relationship. It proves like just how strong your guys' bond is. And I just wanted to add also, even after like the baby's born and everything, he should like make it perfectly clear to his ex that there is nothing between them at all. Like he's only gonna be around for the baby, like the boy or girl, and she pretty much he has no feelings towards her at all. Make that perfectly clear so she doesn't think that she can somehow win him back or whatever.
Oh, yes, that was a good point to bring up. I wasn't even thinking about that, but yeah, because a lot of baby mamas, they're out here and they're just trying to get their man back. And I
That,
mean, for whatever reasons, she ended up pregnant. Obviously, it wasn't planned, but a lot of women, they'll plan it out. They have their plot, they have their little um situation where they're just trying to get pregnant so they can lock somebody in, hoping they can get them back or
yeah,
whatever. But
that's why I was
it's just totally wrong.
that's what I was saying earlier. He needs to make sure that it's even for real. Like if she's being honest with him about her being pregnant, because she could, like I said, she could just be saying that just to get him to come back.
Yeah. But so just make sure that if it's a cheating situation, do not cheat again and take this relationship seriously. You've come to me with this, so I'm assuming that you're taking this seriously, like this whole situation. And also, like, be prepared because you're going to be trying to, if this relationship works out, you're going to be trying to balance a relationship and fatherhood. And on top of that, he's young too. He's a young guy. So you have like a future ahead of you, and you have to really establish a future for yourself even more so now that you're bringing a child into this world.
Yeah.
So, just I'm gonna be praying for you, and just keep me updated on the whole news with how she reacts and whether she decides to stay with you or not. But there's nothing you can really do except be honest with her. Please don't lie to her because lies, they will be revealed. Like God will reveal them eventually. So, and obviously it's a baby, like it's gonna be revealed regardless. So um I just
That's the
pray the
last.
best for you though.
That's the last thing you want is her showing up at your doorstep with a baby in her hand, saying, "This is it. This is your 10-year-old. I need child support or something." And yeah, that's the last thing you want.
Yeah, but all right. Okay, so I have another question from Violet. She asked me, I'm sorry, how would you deal with two best friends fighting one another and you're caught in the middle of the situation because they're both giving you an ultimatum? So I'm gonna assume that she's in this situation just because she asked it.
Ultim-
Um, I'm sorry.
Actually, it doesn't matter what the ultimatum is. Like, I don't like. I personally hate ultimatums. So whoever's giving me the ultimatum, I just tell. I honestly, if someone gives me an ultimatum, I just tell them to f off. I'm like, I'll tell them where to take the ultimatum, pretty much. No, I'll just walk away. Like, that's the quickest way to make me mad. Tell
So
me,
you're saying you would just be like, okay, both of you guys, I'm not gonna be your friends, and then you just walk off because they're both giving her an ultimatum.
or they both are. Yeah, pretty much. If they're both like saying, like, okay, so I assume the ultimatum would probably be something like, oh, you have to choose either me or this person. You can't be friends with us both. If it's that something like that, I'll be like, well, then fine. I choose neither one of you. Bye.
I don't understand how you can dislike somebody so much to the point you don't want your friend hanging out with that person. Like that's crazy to me.
Yeah, that's
And that just shows like the worth of your friendship with that person. So it just doesn't make any sense to me. Why just not stop being their friend instead of giving them an option? That doesn't make any sense to me.
really it's really selfish too. That's the most selfish. Like right now, I have a friend right now who, like, cause me and another friend of ours, we had a falling out, and one of my good friends, he still hangs out with him all the time, and I'm not gonna sit there and be like,
Hello.
hello,
Sorry, having difficulties.
like
Okay.
he hangs out with that person all the time. I'm not gonna sit there and tell him, oh, you have to choose between. That's really childish and like selfish. Like really, so I mean, I would tell Violet to just tell them both to buzz off. That's what I would do. Like if they came to me like that, I'd be like, you know what? Oh,
Hello.
like, hello?
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
You said you'd tell Violet to do what?
'Cause I'll just tell them both to buzz off because like that's selfish. Like I'll be like, I don't want to hang out with neither one of you. If you guys are gonna be like that. So bye. But it sounds
Yeah,
uncaring.
I just something like a situation like that, I would just be questioning what like how much does our friendship mean to you anyway? Because like we were saying with our last piece of advice that we were giving, like if you're willing to if you're really trying to stay strong in your relationship or friendship with somebody, you're gonna go, there might not be certain things that you like. You might not like that they're friends with somebody, but you just suck it up and you suffer silently because I mean that's putting so much stress on her, like being caught in the middle like that. Like I can just imagine that would be such a stressful situation,
Exactly.
and it's not fair. It's not fair at all. And I honestly would probably do the same thing. I'd be like, all right, peace out. Like you're really gonna make me choose, so I'm done. I have better things to do with my time, and I don't need the stress in my life. You have to say no, like say no to this chaos in your life, because I mean, honestly, unless they're like really, really good friends, if they were really, really good friends, I'd try and talk it out. But
No,
if they're just
that'd be the
people,
way for me to ruin a friendship. Like I don't care. Like if I known the person for like 10 years, as
yeah,
soon as they say you have to choose between me or this person, I'll be like, nope. I guess I'm not choosing either one of you, and I'm out. Don't. I want you to lose my number, and I don't want to ever hear from you ever again. Like I know that sounds harsh. That sounds really uncaring, but I don't have
yeah,
time for like childish BS.
yeah, that is childish. So you
Like
just straight up, there is no, it's just cut and dry for you.
I think like I would. I mean, I would like if they never if they don't give me an ultimatum, then yeah, I'll do what I can to like help them out. Like be like, hey, you two need to like reconcile. Like I'll do everything up until that point to help them out. As soon as they give me an ultimatum, I'm like, well, I'm done. I'm out. But if they never do, then I'll do whatever I can to like help them reconcile, help them resolve their differences. And if it never happens, then I'll just hang out with them separately. But
Well, you're pretty cool. You're a good friend. I don't know if I'd necessarily want to be a mediator in a situation like that. Because
well,
then some people, obviously, they'd see it like, oh, you're taking their side, or oh, you're taking that other person's side, and
and if
it
they're
just gets messy.
childish. If they do that, that's also childish, and I won't put up with that either. I'm like, I'm not taking either one of your sides. Like, you guys
Yeah,
need you guys need an outside perspective to help you because a lot of times that's what a lot of the disputes need. Because you have this person, he has his side, this other person has their side, and like they're not gonna like it's not gonna be resolved unless there's like an outside perspective that says, hey, so you're saying this is what happened, you're saying this is what happened, this is what's really going on,
yeah,
and maybe we could do something here. Like, I mean, like there's a lot of wisdom in that. I mean, but there are certain cases where you
yeah. It's a really awkward position that she's being put in, but
yeah,
it's kind of sad that when people put you in situations like that. But regardless of what happens, just keep doing you. That's literally been like my saying lately. Just keep doing you regardless. You can't control the actions of others. You can't control how people feel about one another. Like you can't control that your two friends are just hating on each other. And um I honestly would say like don't even go through the stress of trying to like make things right, because you
true,
can just find yourself like drained by that.
yeah,
Just focus on you and do you. And if it ends up that you're not friends with these people, I mean, I'm sure you have a lot more friends and people that are deserving of your time. And if not, you will. And it'll all work out, though. I mean,
I know like I know women tend to be like really vindictive, so I can just imagine how that's going on right now.
yeah. Assuming that it's two women.
Oh yeah, that's true. We don't even know if it's two women. Like I know like guys like we get into a fight, like we throw blows, and we're best friends the very next day.
Yeah, I love that about guys. I wish girls were like that, but it's not, it's usually not like that.
On the grudges for like 8 years. Like
Yeah.
it could be something small like, oh, she cut in front of me in line. Like, what are you talking about? Like, that was like 8 years ago. She's like, I don't care. Like, I hate her guts and blah, blah, like, okay.
And the really complicated ones, they'll sit up there. Okay, you get into an argument with them one day. The next day, they're over here fake smiling like everything's cool, but you can just sense that their energy, like they're like,
Yeah.
yeah, you cut in front of me in line yesterday, but I'm just gonna smile anyway and pretend to like you because I have to or whatever, and I'm fake and all that stuff. It gets so messy with girls. Like, we'll hold
Or,
grudges, but we'll act like everything's fine.
or they'll let all that build up and they'll let it out on their boyfriend like in like 3 months. They'll be
Me,
yelling.
I don't really think I'm petty like that though. I do hold grudges a little bit, but I try to let it go. I try to pray it off, and
I
it.
had an ex one time that literally she would yell at me over what her friends did like 6 months prior. She'd be like, "Oh, blah, blah," I'm like, and that's my fault? How?
That's a
Like, I don't.
little psycho. Yeah. It's like they're taking it out on you. I've had girls do that to me before too.
I'm just like sitting there confused. I'm like, I don't even know what's going on right now. Like,
That's how I feel when people like vent to me or like they start like getting really like into their emotions while they're trying to tell me a story. Like I'm like, okay, like it's me, like it's Kianna. It's not I'm not that person that you're angry at.
right? Exactly. It's just like, calm down, take a chill pill. And I couldn't tell her that either. I'd be like, just take a chill pill. She's like, don't tell me to take it. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna back up now.
That's good. I love that.
Or you start throwing like frying pans at me.
Oh my gosh, that's so crazy, but that's funny at the same time.
Needless to say, that relationship only lasted like probably like a month. I got
Yeah.
quickly.
Yeah, I can't deal with like even though
Yeah,
it's a natural tendency in women to be like that, like you still should have a maturity about you, be like civil at least in the
you
least.
ever did you ever see Chris Rock's comedy act where he was talking about he was talking about relationships and he cracked me up so hard because he was like if you have never stared at a can of rat poison and contemplated no he was like if you have never contemplated murder you have not been in love.
Never contemplated murder, you have not what?
Yeah, he was like if you haven't contemplated murder you have never
Dave,
been in love. Hello, hello, hello.
sorry, can you say that one more time?
It's like if you have never contemplated murder he was like you have never been in love.
Oh gosh, that's terrible. I probably have seen that because my ex, he would show me stand up, but I actually hate stand up.
Oh,
It's
like
not my favorite art form of comedy or whatever. I
Dan,
just don't.
Dan Cook has one where he's talking about like women. He calls them mind ninjas because he's over here talking about how like women can like they can get inside your a guy's mind with just like the simplest little comment. Like they could say something like you're just hello,
Yeah.
and at first we'll sit there and we'll be like, huh, I'm just like my father, whatever. And like an hour or two later, we're sitting there thinking about that. We're like, I'm just like my father. What does she mean by that? My father was a brilliant man.
I thought only women like thought like that because I think like that all the time. Like, dang, well, what? Like, it doesn't register until later. Like, was it an insult or was that really an insult or what? What does that really mean? That's so
That's how I
funny.
get like, yeah. Then he was saying like how we'll come up upstairs, come into the kitchen, and we'll have everything planned, like on what we're gonna say. But when we actually get into the kitchen where she's at, she's over here eating noodles, and at that point we forget everything we were gonna say, and we just end up just like slamming the cabinets and yelling, and we just started yelling it like incoherently about like noodles, of like, you like those noodles? You like those noodles? You're like, you know what? I like noodles too, and you know why I like noodles? Because when I was younger, my dad used to take me to the store and buy me noodles all the time. And you know why my dad would do that? Because my father was a brilliant man.
So it's like trying to like bring it back to the subject, but like so random. Oh my gosh. I've seen Dane cook before. I don't know if I found him funny or not back then, but I think I'd probably find him funny now.
Some things I think he's fun. I think he's a little bit too much. He cusses way too much, and when you're watching him on cable, like all you hear is like beep 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 beep. It's just like, okay, this isn't.
Oh, okay.
Uh,
Okay. So we went from the advice question about the ultimatum to Dane Cook. Alrighty.
Alright, that was my fault. I took us way off topic.
No, it's okay. That was cool. Okay, so I guess this concludes our show today. Thank you for tuning in to Talk Tuesdays with Dave and myself, and we hope you enjoyed this show. It's pretty laid back today, no Nadia. Huh?
And as always, don't forget to rate, comment, and subscribe below, because y'all know you want to subscribe to us. You guys just love us. I mean, and you can't resist this anyways.
You're like always talking about like, oh, my sexy face. Like, I was like waiting for you to say that.
Like, I'm not going to say that because everybody already knows it's sexy, so I'm just going to say they can't resist it.
All right now. Okay.
Yeah.
Alrighty. So, like I said, I guess that concludes everything. Sorry, say that again.
Oh, subscribe to Nadia also. And next week, the show's going to be back on my channel. So, yeah.
All right. So be on the lookout for that. And Nadia will be back next week. So check us out and look at our previous episodes, too, to see what we were talking about last week and the week before. And for the fourth time, this concludes our third episode of Talk Tuesdays. Thank you for watching.